Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Leg 3 of the Amazing ReadAthon just dropped, and it's a preposition in the title. So you have not seen this book yet, but I bought it, and we'll talk about how awful I'm doing on the not buying books this year. I fell off the wagon, but it's okay. I'm not mad about it. So I'm going to be reading Before I Let You Go by Kelly Reimer. Yeah. And here's what I think it's about. Let me pitch this to you. I obviously haven't read it, so I don't know for sure. But I think that it's about this woman named Lexi. I could not read this book right now. It is one that I want to eventually read, but it's about sisterhood, and it's about Lexi, who gets a call from her sister Annie, who is a drug addict, and she hasn't heard from her sister in over 2 years. And, you know, stuff's about to go down, but I'm just not in the right headspace to read this right now. I don't know if I actually officially told you what book I'm going to be reading for the third leg of the Amazing Readathon, because the third leg of this Amazing Readathon is so chaotic. Like, very chaotic. So, this book hasn't even been hauled yet, because you want to see my dirty little secret? My dirty little secret involves some books. And these are just the ones that were sent to me. There's more. Like, I physically went shopping. So there's a bag up here. There's a bag still in my car. There's a couple of books just randomly splattered throughout. I'm not so certain that I'm going to have a physical TBR of 0 by the end of 2026 anymore. Your girl likes to buy books. I'm your girl. If you catch what I'm putting down. Anyways, this book has not even been hauled yet. This is Voices in the Snow by Darcy Coates. So, here's the thing. I have 4 Darcy Coates books, but 3 of them I consider horror and 1 I consider a thriller. It's Dead of Winter. It's over there on my thriller shelf. But I also have Hunted, Ghost Camera, and Dead Lake. Dead Lake and Ghost Camera are short story collections. I would actually consider them more novella collections. I'm not a huge novella / short story girly, but there's something about Darcy Coates. She can write a novella, like a creepy, atmospheric novella. I mean, I obviously liked her chunky book too, but novellas, that's like where she shines, in my humble opinion. I've also realized that I don't like her paranormal books. I just don't think I'm very big into paranormal books. I'm just really, really picky about everything, but particularly about paranormal books. And so this is the first in an apocalyptic future. It says it's an apocalypse horror. It's Voices in the Snow, which is the first in the Black Winter series by Darcy Coates. I almost bought this whole series, so I'm very, very glad that I didn't, because I didn't enjoy this. To me, it's not scary. It wasn't a horror novel. There were parts that were really, like, creepy because of, like, creepy crawlies. Like, bug or insect scary or creepy. But not, like, I was not scared in this. I know I'm going to be the unpopular opinion here, and everyone's probably going to yell at me in the comments, but that's fine. Do it. I don't like the romance. I hated the romance. It felt like a gothic romance, and I know that that's like a thing that everyone loves. Heck, I love Jane Eyre, and that's like a romantic gothic book. Kind of psychopath. I don't know what Jane Eyre is, but Jane Eyre is right here in my heart. Voices in the Snow, it didn't work. Here's the thing. Here's what did work for me. I loved the apocalypse aspect. I loved the end of the world as we know it. I loved some of the energy, like the weather, the isolatedness, the atmosphere. Darcy Coates writes an incredible book, especially like atmospherically. She's superb. One of the best. Loved the atmosphere. Didn't care about the romance. Did not care. I was rooting for Claire. I know I'm going to be the unpopular opinion here, but I really wanted Dorian to be evil or to be the villain. I really just, there's something about him, his mysteriousness. I really wanted him to be a bad guy. I really, really did. I was disappointed that he wasn't. So I finished this. Again, it's not my favorite. I'm probably going to give it 2 stars. It is a little bit later. I have my packages, I have my water, and I have my PJs. And my hair is up because it's actually quite warm in here. So if you hear my air conditioning going, no, you don't. Or like, I don't care too much. Okay, this one has 2 books in it. And yes, I am the one that made the Amazon. Here's the thing. It's a very long story, but my husband bought some things on Amazon and we had to return them. So he had $100 in credit. And your girl really wanted some books. So I jokingly was like, hey, we have $100 that I could spend on books. And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, right? And he was just like, yeah, go for it. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm just kidding, really? And he said, yeah, go crazy. So I went crazy. And then, of course, Book of the Month is here, too, because, you know, everything got delivered all at the same time. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you, I still have 2 more deliveries coming. 4 more books. So this is not all of them. But anyways, we are here now. And there's no going back. So let's just dive in. Okay, there are 2 books in this one. Okay. Cool. So there is Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. Actually, I think round 2, leg 2 of the Amazing ReadAthon. It's either leg 1 or leg 2. I will link it right here. I read this. I listened to it on audiobook. But clearly I loved it because I had to buy myself a copy. So this is going straight onto my trophy collection above me where my romance lives. This was so good. So you follow Chloe, who's had like a rough life. She's been in and out of foster care, and she ultimately got adopted by a foster family. But her bio mom, named Chloe, did not realize that she was pregnant, and she gave birth to this baby. And I'm pretty sure that she was high on drugs. And there's a lot of talk about like addiction and loving someone, not like in a relationship, like your significant other type of way. Oh my god, I didn't know I was gonna cry. But loving someone who struggles with addiction, and how tough of a place it is because you love this person and you want the very best for them, but it's hard. And because Chloe's bio mom had a baby, her bio mom doesn't want the baby, but Chloe doesn't want her biological sister to grow up in foster care like she did. So Chloe ends up trying to like kinship her. So kinship is like when you have to, when you're a child and you go into the system, you either get placed with a foster family, which is essentially strangers who have taken these courses, who are opening their home to any child or children that need love and help in the moment. And kinship is usually like a family member or a family friend. It's someone that you know to my knowledge, you don't have to do as many courses, but you still have to get like certified. And here's the problem. Chloe cannot on her own. She has enough money to support herself and a child probably, but logistically it doesn't look like she really has a job because she's a graphic designer. She's kind of like a freelance worker. She can work her own hours. But Warren is trying to get his brother out of the foster care system. His brother's a teenager. And I don't think this part was real, but the DCS, or Department of Child Safety, or whatever it is in the book or in your neck of the woods, is coming out with piloting this new program where if you can't be licensed by yourself, you can get like a roommate who is also fighting for the same thing, only instead of fighting for your family member, they're fighting for their own. So both of them have like incredibly like nurturing hearts, and Warren is such a grump. Like, I really did not feel any sparks at the beginning of this book. But I'm glad that they end up together. I love Chloe so much, and I felt so much sympathy for her just because, like, obviously I'm not in the same situation, but there was a lot of Chloe's life that, you know, like, I'm a foster mom, so that really held close to my heart. I too love someone very, very dear to my heart who also struggles with addiction, and I know that I can't bear that as like something that I struggle with because I will likely never know. But loving someone who struggles with that is a whole different kind of mess on its own. But this was so beautiful. I think I gave it 4 stars to begin with, but I definitely think it deserves 5 stars, so I might have to change that. Okay. Then I have Before I Let You Go by Kelly Rimmer. This too, I have not read it yet, but it is very much in the same vein as Next of Kin, as it is, it follows these 2 sisters. It follows Lexi and Annie. Annie is a drug addict, and Lexi hasn't really talked to her in close to 2 years. But she calls her at 2 in the morning, and Annie calls Lexi at 2 in the morning and says that she didn't know she's pregnant, but she's having a baby. And I'm sorry. So Annie called Lexi and said, I am having a baby, you're going to be an aunt. But I think I overdosed on fentanyl. I think it was fentanyl or heroin, but I think it was fentanyl. And I need someone to come take care of my baby. So Lexi is a doctor, so she takes her to the clinic. I'm not sure what happens after that. I'm pretty sure DCS is going to be involved, even though Lexi promised that DCS won't get involved. I don't think she can make that kind of promise. Yeah. That one's gonna make me just sob. So I kinda am not wanting to read it, but I do really want to read it at the same time. Okay, those were very, very heavy in tone. Hopefully some of these are less heavy in tone. Oh, this one. This one's just like super sweet. I have already read it. I read Truly, Madly, Deeply by Alexandra Balfour. I read this during, I think, the second leg of the Amazing ReadAthon, so I'll link that one down, up above too. The only gripe that I have with this book is that her name is Truly. And that's weird. But it says, sparks fly when a lovelorn romantic novelist and a divorce lawyer agreed to co-host a podcast series offering dating advice. So I really enjoy like radio show or podcast romances. I don't know why, but I always end up enjoying this. So this follows Truly and Colin, and Truly is like in a writing slump because she's a romance author, but she's having trouble writing romance because she just got dumped, I believe. And now Katie, Colin's sister, has invited Truly onto the show to kind of watch two different perspectives on a relationship, so that they can bicker and things on there. The first episode goes so well that she keeps inviting them. And it was so much fun. The bi representation in here was top notch. And I just really enjoyed this romance. I can't say anything else, but it was fun. It was just fun. It's just all the things that I want in a romance. Okay. Let's do this last Amazon book. Like I said, it's not my actual last, but it's the last one I have right now. Oh my god! I forgot that this is the one that I bought. I've already read this. It is another trophy for my collection. I want to buy every Noelle W. Eiley book. Like, I need a physical copy of all of them. Right now, I only have Room for Rent and Run on Red, which absolutely love that book. Oh my god. I actually follow this author on Insta. I should contact her and see if I can get every other book of hers and see if she can sign them for me, because that would be awesome. But this was such a predictable thriller. I don't say that in a bad way. So many people say that and they hated the book. I give this 5 stars. I love this book. But Naya can't remember the last time she felt safe. The rundown rental house didn't seem bad at first, but now someone is stealing her food, rattling her bedroom doorknob, digging through her belongings. Each night, more disturbing incidents. And each night, Naya is more convinced it's not an intruder. She suspects the culprit is hiding in plain sight. Her peculiar roommate, Sydney. Naya can't afford to live anywhere else. The horrible rental is her only option. In a few months, she'll finish her final semester of college and get the hell out of Dodge. I can't really tell you anything else without giving things away. But it was definitely like a isolated thriller. It was like, oh my god, like, why is Sydney stealing my food? Who keeps calling me at midnight, 1 a.m.? Why is that guy following me? It was like that kind of paranoia, and I loved it so much. And I mean, just look, her covers are always so dark and so, they're simple, but I love them. Okay, now let's do book of the month. And then the next time I see you, I'll be picking a book for, not a book, I'll be picking a prompt for sightseeing on the Amazing ReadAthon. So, I got 2 books for the price of 1 because in May, so there's that. In May, book of the month took forever for me to get my book of the month. I didn't get it until May 27th because of problems on their end, but they tried to make up for it by sending me a book for free. So I am not mad about it anymore, even if I want to be. So for my June pick, I'm gonna read Summer's Never Over by Darby Bozeman. This is my June book. Someone knows the truth about that summer. 5 years ago, Greer Olson left her family's summer camp in the secluded mountains of Georgia after a season had turned into a nightmare and ended with a friend and fellow counselor dead. Losing vibrant and charismatic Steph shattered everything, and Greer vowed she'd never return. But then her mom dies, and Greer finds herself back at Dread's Cove, surrounded by the people she was closest to that intense summer, including Margot, Steph's best friend. Greer and Margot didn't leave things on the best terms, but now Margot needs her. Margot never believed that Steph's death in that horrific fire was an accident, and she's on the trail of an explosive discovery that Steph took to her grave. Greer has to make a choice: keep the Cove's secrets and her own, or finally confront what really happened. Oh my god. Ooh, there's like a boat right there, a canoe. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna try and read this in June or July, but my TBR for June is so big, so we'll see. Then this one was the free add-on that they gave me. Like I said, they messed up in May, so they made up for it. I got to pick a add-on book for free, and I wasn't gonna pick this one because I thought it was a young adult book, and I specifically cannot read about teenagers doing those things, even though I just can't. I can't think about that. No. But this is Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It by Brooke Averick. 1 month, 3 maybe boyfriends, and a million reasons to panic. I think this one's gonna be really funny. Is it possible to find true love when you're going on a date? When going on a date makes you want to throw up? Yeah. Meet Phoebe. Despite being a hopeless romantic, she's about to be a 30-year-old. Meet Phoebe Berman. Despite being a hopeless romantic, she's about to be a 30-year-old virgin. Thanks to an extremely unfortunate first kiss, a temp crippling intimacy anxiety has plagued her since she was a teen. Phoebe has so much going for her: a dream teaching job, a supportive and hilarious group of best friends, and all the romance novels a girl could want at her fingertips. But she can't help but beat herself up over the one thing she can't seem to figure out. Determined to change this, she drafts up the ultimate guide to losing her virginity checklist in the hope of finally getting laid. Suddenly, she goes from having a relatively boring, basically non-existent dating life to juggling 3 romantic prospects at once. there's the gorgeous now 4th grade teacher at her school and a former high school classmate who resurfaces through words with friends. And there will always be her roommate, who might just be the best friends to lovers situation of her dreams. Alright, this is leg 3 of the Amazing ReadAthon. Here is our newest game board for sightseeing prompts. And I have my handy dandy random number generator 1 through 9. If it starts as 4, then I'm gonna pick a different number, because the last 2 weeks, both times it starts as 4. I don't know if it's just what it goes to. Every single time it starts at 4, and so right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A book out of your comfort zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A book with a fancy cover. Out of your comfort zone, fancy book cover. Alright, I'm going to see what's actually on June's TBR. And then I will pick probably tomorrow, because look at that. I'm Team Torchwood, and we got first this leg. Woo! Woo! Go team! You will receive a power-up card. I'm going to keep that secret. I'm not going to tell you what the power-up card is yet. Okay. That sounds good. So that does mean that our announcements are leg 4 has dropped. So I'm going to end the leg 3 here. I don't think there was a whole lot of reading. I think I read 1 book and had a book haul, and that wasn't even my entire book haul. That was just what I had in packages at the time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button.